Hi, Krishnan. I'm not going to talk about the coronavirus or I mean what is spreading across the world. What I'm going to touch on is the fallout of the coronavirus. In terms of what impact is on the industry. So let's look at some very key sectors where there could be what they call a bit of a bloodbath. I can think of retail, the kind of industry that I spend more time in in the training space. Retail contributes around 10% of GDP. The jobs is estimated to be around 10-15 million. The auto industry, which contributes around 9.4% of GDP, the affected jobs would be around 14 million, they say. The tourism and hospitality industry, which is going to take a big beating, contributes around 9.2% to the GDP. The jobs affected there could be in the region around something like 38 million, which is huge. Aviation contributes 3 to 4% of GDP. The jobs affected could be straight away around 3 to 3.5 million. Real estate, which contributes around 7% of GDP, jobs affected 41 million, which is again very substantial. And finally, the MSME, which is a major chunk of GDP in terms of being a contributor, which is around 29%. The jobs affected could be anywhere, very difficult to say, it could be anywhere between 22 to 51 million. So these are the key sectors which are going to be really hit, being hit now and really going to be hit, say maybe for at least 6 months post, normalcy. I mean, whenever it happens. There's going to be a lot of changes in terms of how business is done, social distancing, hygienic, hand hygiene, etc. Going to be very, very important in retail. For example, WFH, work from home, they say it's going to be new normal. There will be challenges, of course, but it's going to be new normal. Online education will catch up in a big way. Meetings could be a lot of online meetings, which is happening even now. A lot of training, besides technical, a lot of training would be and coaching would be online. I'm not too sure about the soft skilling, behavioral kind of training, which needs a lot of direct contact. That's a bit of a question mark at the moment. We'll see how things are done in terms of methodology. Far lesser footfall into shopping areas, shopping malls, stores. Far lesser eating out. There are going to be a lot of home deliveries, so your Swiggies and Zomatos and people like that are going to be far more busy. E-commerce retail, yes, potentially going to be a big segment because people are going to order more online than go out into the market. Far lesser visits to the theaters, so you have your Netflix and your Amazon Prime. There is a really scale up, ramp up in a big way. Far lesser travel. I mean, nobody's going to travel that quickly now within the country or even outside the country. Less impulse buying, more planned purchase. Like what Shivkera was saying is acceptance of the wisdom and uncertainty to encourage creativity. That's going to be the new norm. And but one thing good which has possibly happened is this Make in India going to be a very big step forward. Far less dependence on China, and it gives. I mean, a lot of experts have said that India could be the new China. But for that, economists say that there has to be a very drastic change in mindset in India in terms of manufacturing, and a lot of policy changes like tax terrorism and all that should be really looked at seriously for big manufacturing hubs to come up and be productive in India to serve the world. So that's going to be a very big plus point if India takes steps to play a major role in being a factory of this world. So I mean that's my analysis on the fallout of the coronavirus crisis, and but I just have a very strong feeling that say 6 months, 8 months down the line, after the markets really open, things would come back to a great amount of normalcy. Yes, there has to be a lot of curbs and restrictions and all that, but I think we will be back on the right track on a good wicket. So thanks for listening. Stay safe, stay home.